Welcome back to the deep dive. We're your shortcut to getting, well, properly informed.
That's cool.
Today, we're jumping into something really interesting out of Hong Kong, their Green Tableware Platform.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission, really, is to figure out why this thing actually works so well over there. Promoting green tableware.
It's a big question.
Yeah, and crucially, could it be a model for other places? Other cities, maybe even whole countries fighting that plastic battle.
Absolutely. And it's important to set the scene, right? Plastic pollution, it's a huge global headache. Oceans, health, everything.
Right.
This Hong Kong platform, it's a direct response. A concrete action, not just talk.
Okay, so let's unpack that. We hear about cities going green all the time.
Yeah.
But what makes this specific platform tick? Especially for, the food and beverage industry, they can be tough to shift. What's the core idea?
That's a great question. Because it's specifically designed, to hit those pain points. The F&B industry had real concerns. They needed clear answers, reliable options. So the platform gives them that. Comprehensive info on alternatives.
So not just rules, but actual help-finding stuff.
Exactly. Makes it easier to source things that meet the rules. For businesses, even for the public.
Okay.
And yeah, the ultimate aim is pushing towards reusables, but it's about providing that practical support to get there.
Sounds practical, definitely. But something ambitious doesn't just pop up, right? There must be some legal force behind it.
Oh, absolutely. You need that backbone. This wasn't just a bright idea one morning.
Right.
It actually came out of a public consultation. Get this, over 90% supported regulation.
Wow, 90%. That's huge public buy-in.
It really is. It shows people wanted action, not just vague, eco-friendly labels.
Yeah, you see those everywhere.
So that led to the Product Eco-Responsibility Amendment Bill, passed last October, 2023.
Okay.
And it kicked in officially on Earth Day this year, April 22nd, 2024.
Fitting date.
And it covers 9 specific types of disposable plastic tableware. We're talking straws, cutlery, cups, plates, those food containers.
Pretty much everything you get with takeout, then.
Basically, yeah. It's quite comprehensive.
One of the hardest things with green products is knowing what's actually green and what's just clever marketing.
The greenwashing problem.
Yeah. So how does this platform handle that? What do they say non-plastic actually means? That must be a massive help for businesses.
It's honestly one of its strongest points. It tackles that confusion head on.
How so?
Well, it explicitly calls out materials often sold as green, like oxo-degradable plastics. You know the ones.
The ones that just break into tiny pieces.
Exactly. They just fragment into microplastics, basically. And even some biodegradable plastics like PLA, cornstarch stuff.
But those are plant-based, aren't they?
Often, yes. But they still need very specific, usually industrial composting conditions to break down properly. Conditions you just don't find in the natural environment, like the ocean or landfill.
Ah, I see.
So the platform clarifies. These generally don't count as non-plastic for their purposes, because they either create microplastics or don't really biodegrade in the real world.
That's a really important distinction, not just a label, but actual environmental impact.
Precisely. It cuts through the greenwashing, helps businesses and people avoid stuff that sounds good but isn't.
Okay, that's fascinating. So it's educating and preventing bad choices, not just listing good ones. What does this mean day-to-day practically for a restaurant owner or just, us?
Well, the practical side is pretty clear. If a product is on the platform list, it's considered compliant. Full stop.
Takes the guesswork out.
Completely.
Yeah.
Boosts confidence for buyers. And each product gets its own unique QR code.
A QR code for cutlery.
Yeah. Suppliers can print it right on the packaging, scan it, boom, instant confirmation it's compliant, link to buy it maybe.
Huh, that's simple.
It really helps communication between the restaurants and their suppliers. Makes the whole market way more transparent, easy to find the good stuff.
And I bet getting on that list isn't easy. You mentioned Rigor.
Definitely not just a checkbox exercise. Suppliers have to submit samples, like 6 of them.
Okay.
And crucially, test reports. From accredited labs, local or international, we're talking proper material analysis like FTIR.
FTIR? What's that?
Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy. It's a way to fingerprint the material's chemical makeup.
So you know exactly what it is.
Exactly. No plastic hiding in there. Or they can use things like EU plastic-free certificates. It's verified proof, builds real trust.
Right. Verifiable trust. That seems key.
And that trust, perhaps surprisingly, is what makes it scalable.
How do you mean?
Because the verification standard is so high, they can open it up. The platform explicitly says Any tableware suppliers in Hong Kong or other regions may enroll.
Other regions, so international suppliers.
Yep. And enrollment is free.
Wow. Okay, free and open to anyone who meets the standard. That is a potential game changer. And accepting international testing standards makes it globally relevant, doesn't it?
It really does.
So what does this global angle mean for, say, London or New York or anywhere else trying to cut down on plastic?
Well, think about the core benefits, right? Verified compliance, knowing what you buy is actually okay.
Yeah,
More market transparency, easier sourcing. Aren't those valuable everywhere?
absolutely. Any city council or business group would want that.
Exactly. And Hong Kong's also building out this whole ecosystem around it, like companies that rent and clean reusable tableware.
Ah, so it's not just the disposables, it's supporting the alternatives too.
Right. It's a joined-up approach. Regulate the bad stuff, enable the good stuff. Other cities could definitely learn from that comprehensive thinking. It's a support system.
So wrapping it up, this Hong Kong Green Tableware Platform, it sounds like a really smart mix. Practical, transparent, and backed by solid verification.
Pretty much, it's tackling a massive global issue with a system built for real impact.
And critically, it seems designed in a way that could be copied, adapted elsewhere.
Which leads to the final thought, really, for you listening.
Go on.
How could a system like this transparent, based on real verification, how could that help speed up the shift away from problem plastics right where you live, in your community, your country? Something to think about.